It
31.
says, in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, say to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his hordes, who can be compared with you in majesty? Consider Assyria, once a cedar in Lebanon, with beautiful branches overshadowing the forest. It towered on high. Its tops above the thick foliage. The water nourished it. Deep springs made it grow tall. Their streams flowed all around its base and sent their channels to all the trees of the fields. So it towered higher than all the trees of the field. Its boughs increased and its branches grew longer, spreading because of abundant waters. All the birds of the air nested in its boughs, and the beasts of the field gave birth under its branches, and the great nations lived in its shades. Its majestic beauty with its spreading boughs, for its roots went down to abundant waters. The cedars in the garden of God could not rival it, nor could the pine trees equal its boughs, nor could the plane trees compare with its branches. No tree in the garden of God could match its beauty. It made it beautiful with abundant branches, the envy of all the trees of Eden in the garden of God. But later on, there's too much to read, but later on in the Bible, it says that the trees was planted like other little trees got planted around it. And what I got out of it was that come on, you're doing that all the trees was planted around it, and they tried taking the life from it. And like me and mom was talking about today, it's not you that's doing it, it's God that's doing it. It's God that's making you strong. The same way the tree was planted by the water was the same way that God's making us stronger, making us taller in things, you know? But this is I cut it down a little bit in my version. And the title is A Cedar in Lebanon. As long as the cedar tree grew in water, it could grow strong, tall, healthy, and full of leaves. Many birds flew into it and flocked and nested there. The animals, they gave birth, and the nations, they was under it, and they rested under it. But then all these other little tiny trees will come and flock around it, try to grow over top of it, take the light from it, and grow. The roots would try to grow under it and take the water source from it, and try to kill the tree. And what God's trying to tell me is when you're trying to do good, I noticed myself a few times, I try to do good in the Lord. I'd say this is the week I'm going to serve the Lord, maybe read my Bible 2-3 nights out of the week, and then I'd go right back to my old ways. But say you're trying to do good in the Lord, and you're trying to stay strong and faithful, but then the enemy comes and he plants your cousins by you. He plants the old song, that old song, man. Remember the time when we rocked out to that, man? Remember in the car we did such and such, man? And it says, and then I wrote, in the same way the devil puts all them little trees around you to choke you off from the main source, which is God, is the way choke you off in the same way. It's the same way we need to be planted around good trees. You know what I'm saying? Around the good people. And if we're not planted around the good people, then we're going to be choked off, and we're not going to have no water source. We're not going to have the light shining on us. And that's where it comes that you backslide. And
That's all I got.
That's all I got.